Hello, desperate hallucinations of my delusional fantasies. Disney Dreamlight Valley launched early access about 2 weeks ago, and it took about another week for it to creep into my radar. But once it did, I was hooked pretty quick. And since I live to min-max everything I touch, I figured I might be able to help out my fellow Dreamlight players with a little guide on probably the most important aspect of the game: farming. Farming is unlocked pretty early on, and is your most reliable way to make coins. The basics are pretty straightforward. Dig a hole, plant a seed, water whenever it's dry, and harvest when ready. Sell all the crops, buy more seeds, and repeat. Simple enough. But there are a few aspects that are either never explained or not explained very well. For example, if you plant a seed in the same area you bought it in, the plant needs 10% less time to grow. Not really the greatest buff, but it does save you 24 minutes on pumpkins. And followers. I've seen a few different people claiming you need your follower with you while planting, watering, and harvesting to maximize the bonus given. In reality, you only get the buff at time of harvest, so you can use the watering and planting time as a good way to level your non-gardening followers. It's important to note that, at least according to the buff text in-game, the buffs from followers increase with each follower that has the same job. Personally, I've been recording my harvest amounts since I had only 2 level 10 gardeners, and the numbers have stayed relatively consistent even now that I have 4 at level 10. I think it only counts your first 2 followers for each skill, but again, that's pretty hard to prove. One thing I did notice is that the level of the follower currently with you seems to have a lot of impact on your harvest. With 2 level 10s on standby and a fresh level 2, my harvest bonus was significantly lower than normal, like half of the previous harvest. So I recommend only harvesting with a level 10 follower for crops that matter. You can use wheat to easily get any follower to level 10 anyways. One last note on followers. They tend to have this bad habit of running up to you, which is particularly problematic when you're spam harvesting a golden crop. There are 2 solutions to this. The first is just to use Remy as a gathering follower. He's so small, he won't get in your way most of the time. The other option is to fence in your follower while harvesting, then let them out when you're done. They'll immediately spawn all of the bonuses they would have once you get in range. A few warnings on that method though. If you have a large farm, say 200 plus crops, I would consider releasing them halfway through and recaging them. Items only stay blue for 60 seconds, and it'll take a long time to pick up all the ones you miss. The other potential problem is lag. I play on a high-end PC, so I just got a little stutter, but on a Switch or lower-end PC, that much spawning at once might crash the game, so use that strategy with caution. Now for the good stuff. What to plant to get rich? If you want the short version, carrots, then onions, then pumpkins as you unlock them. Jump to the time on the screen if you want to skip all the boring data. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you have seen stats showing other crops with a higher gold per hour yield, especially when it comes to the middle crops, but there are a few factors that are typically ignored in these calculations. First up is the follower bonus. The bonus awards extra crops on each harvest, but the amount does not scale to what you're harvesting. For example, if you're harvesting okra, you get 3 okra per plant. If your follower triggers and gives you 3 more okra, then you've gained 342 gold from your follower. However, if you were harvesting onions and you get the same trigger for 3 onions, you would have gained 510 gold, as each onion sells for more than each okra. Therefore, any crop that harvests into more than one is going to typically be a worse profit overall. Second, there's the time required to plant, water, and even harvest each crop. While it seems like a negligible amount, those seconds do add up, and they do cut into your profit. For a 300 slot garden, that extra time totals to roughly 15 minutes per yield. That's one of the main reasons why so many of the fast-growing plants have really high returns on paper, but less so in reality. Take carrots for example. Carrots should give 136 gold per hour, as they grow in 15 minutes, so you can plant them 4 times in an hour. However, if you factor in the time needed to actually plant, water, and pick them, their value drops down to 70.8 gold per hour. Again, that number assumes a 300 slot garden. With 99 slots, it drops to 98.2 gold per hour, as it only takes an extra 6 minutes to do everything. Either way, that's still a pretty big drop, especially if you plan on power farming. Next we have to talk about boosted plants. As mentioned earlier, a crop planted in the same area it was bought from requires 10% less time to grow. This bonus translates to a little more gold per hour per plant, as time is indeed money. Honestly, the difference isn't massive, but you might want to consider moving your farm to the Forgotten Lands once you're on pumpkins. Finally, a note on rain. Be careful, because it doesn't work how you think it does. Basically, your plants count as watered while it is currently raining. However, the second it stops raining, your plants will immediately dry. In the world, they still look like they're watered, including the little watered animation, but if you check the map, they'll be marked as needing water. You can also confirm this yourself by walking up to them with the watering can out. The watering can only highlights plants that need to be watered. The plants will still be highlighted, showing that they need water. This bug can cost you a lot of time if you don't catch it, as your crops won't progress while dry. So be sure to check the map and remember to water your crops whenever the rain stops. And 2 last mini tips that didn't fit anywhere else. First, you can buy 99 of an item easily by just clicking minus instead of plus. I can't believe how much time I wasted not realizing that beforehand. And second, harvesting doesn't take any energy, so if you have a big farm, you should consider using food to give you the well-fed speed buff. And that's it. I don't think I've had this much fun with the relaxation game since Stardew Valley. I mean, it got me to stop League, which has to be good for my blood pressure. I think I have at least 2 more video guides I want to put out, along with a full review when I actually finish the available content. But for now, let me know any farming tips I missed in the comments, and I'll see you all eventually.